Hello, darling. My name is Grace, and I have been fighting for years with my weight. It is tiring and I don't have the time to go to the gym all the time. Are you sick of dieting? I can tell you about CarboFix, the ultimate weight loss supplement made for you. I can tell you how to turn on your metabolism in 3 seconds to burn stubborn fat. Do you know why you should sip a cup of licorice root tea at 1 p.m.? Or why some of the world's most famous celebrities sniff rosemary before bed? Or why you should have 2 cups of hot black tea after a long walk? If not, don't worry. I didn't know any of these secrets either until I spent the summer in Ecuador visiting my 90-year-old grandma, who doesn't look a day over 50. I didn't know their secret, but everyone was thin and looked so much younger than their age. Little did I know that in just a matter of hours I'd stumble upon a breakthrough that could help end the obesity epidemic in America. Thanks to a new discovery from a team of scientists at the Salk Institute in San Diego that can turn up your metabolism on command. Just like turning up the heat in your home or the volume on your TV. Now you can do the same thing with your metabolism. Thanks to a little-known enzyme buried deep in your cells that stops the production of new fat and forces your body to burn up the fat you already have. Anyone can do this in less than 3 seconds a day, whether you're 50 years old or 85. Whether you're physically active or sit on the couch all day. Just like turning on a switch. If your metabolism has always been slow, and no matter what you eat, you can never lose weight. And if you've tried everything, like keto, paleo, low carb, low fat, more vegetables, you name it, if nothing has worked, then there's something going on behind the scenes that are forcing your body to desperately hang on to fat no matter what you try. So please, stick with me for the next 2 minutes, because I'm going to share with you the shocking truth of what's really going on inside your body after you turn 50. Along with the sneaky way your body refuses to give up your stored fat, and what you can do in less than 3 seconds to start burning it off. Plus, I'm going to show you all the research, all the scientific studies, and the words straight from a doctor's mouth. So you'll have everything you need to turn up your metabolism whenever you want. Figuring out why some people have very high metabolisms that burn fat around the clock, while others can gain a pound just looking at a slice of pizza. And what I found after stumbling upon this new breakthrough scientific research, along with a trip to a tiny village in Ecuador to visit my vibrant and energetic 90-year-old grandma, is the key to turning on your metabolism whenever you want in a matter of seconds. And it works no matter what your diet is, how little you exercise, or how old you are. It's all based on human biology, and the secret starts with a new protein enzyme that targets abdominal fat, according to doctors. I refer to it as your metabolism switch, but the scientific name for it is AMP-activated protein kinase, or AMPK for short. It's the genetic master switch that controls our metabolism, and when it's activated it can speed up even the slowest metabolisms, improve cardiovascular health, help improve type 2 diabetes, and even extend lifespan. According to Dr. Barry Sears, activating AMPK is the secret to a longer and better life. The problem is like air conditioning, in the middle of winter most of us have it turned off. So if you have 15 or more pounds to lose, if you have more fat around your stomach than you want, if you have cellulite, flabby arms, a belly pooch, then it's a clear sign your AMPK pathway isn't working right. The good news is all you have to do is figure out how to flick this little switch, and everything else will fall into place. You'll be at the exact weight you want to be at. You'll fit into the perfect size jeans. All your clothes will fit just the way you want them to. You'll have more than enough energy to do everything you've always wanted to do. Your libido will be back, and you'll no longer think that everyone is staring at you the moment you walk into a room. Even better, you never have to go on a restrictive calorie-counting diet ever again, you never have to do another second of cardio, and you don't have to force yourself to eat more vegetables. Because none of those things activate AMPK. Hopefully, you can feel the weight being lifted off your shoulders, because you don't have to stress about those things anymore. All you have to do is focus on this one thing, turning on the metabolism switch inside your body. That's it, nothing else matters. You can let yourself off the hook, because I'm going to show you exactly how to do this in as little as 3 seconds. You can do it in the morning or before you go to bed. You can do it after a big carby breakfast of pancakes and waffles or after your bedtime bowl of ice cream. It works every time. And like anything, the more often you do it, the better your results will be. But first I have to tell you something that most doctors don't want you to hear, because it flies in the face of everything you've ever known about losing fat. AMPK is an enzyme found in our cells. It's there, just waiting to be turned on. And it plays a critical role in our energy metabolism, which is simply the rate at which your body burns fat and calories. Specifically, AMPK helps convert sugar and fat into energy while decreasing hunger. So not only are you burning more fat, but your hunger goes down as well. That's key, because if you've ever been on a calorie-restricted diet, you probably felt hungry all the time. This is why crash diets are never sustainable. The secret is, you want to burn fat and decrease your hunger at the same time. That way you aren't relying on willpower to say no to your favorite foods. You simply won't be hungry all the time, and that's the power of AMPK. However, there's one thing nearly everyone does that we've been told is healthy for years, and yet, it kills AMPK on the spot. When you stop doing this, AMPK will soar like an airplane taking off from the runway, flooding your body and burning up the fat in its way. Your body can't produce AMPK in the presence of fructans. Fructans are polymers of fructose, also called sugar. Now, this isn't just any type of regular sugar. Fructans are found in many healthy fruits, vegetables, and legumes. Simply put, fructans are a type of carbohydrate made by a chain of fructose molecules strung together. Here's why they can be a problem. The body is not perfect or suitable for breaking down all parts of food, and not all humans have enough of the essential enzyme necessary to break apart the fructose polymers. So when you eat foods high in fructans, your body struggles to break them down. Now, here's the kicker. When you eat fructans, you get a big blood sugar spike, even if those fructans are found in healthy foods like veggies or beans. As your blood sugar rises, your body has to put this sugar somewhere, and since it's hard for most people to break down fructans, the fructose just gets shuttled into your fat cells. This leads to increased weight gain, stomach bloating, and puffiness. These hidden sugars not only cause your blood sugar to spike, but also forces your body to release insulin, which is your #1 fat-storing hormone. It's almost impossible to burn fat in the presence of insulin, because insulin blocks AMPK. So if you're eating 5 to 6 small meals a day, you're blocking AMPK from being released. That's the real reason why you aren't burning any fat, even if you're snacking on carrot sticks. Having a giant salad full of veggies for lunch, or a plant-based black bean burger for dinner. They all block AMPK from being released, so you're not burning any fat. As I mentioned before, fructans are made up of fructose polymers. Fructose is a special type of sugar that has to be processed and stored in the liver, which means it can kick you out of fat burning in seconds. While you can store hundreds of grams of sugar in your muscles, you can only store 30 to 50 grams in your liver. If you eat more than that, and just to be clear, the average American eats over 300 grams per day, because there's no more room in your liver, the rest just spills over and ends up in your fat cells. Think of it like this: if you fill your car up with gas and you just let it run, the gas will eventually overflow and spill all over the ground. It's the same thing with extra fructose in your body, except it spills into your fat cells, making your stomach, waist, and thighs bigger and full of cellulite. And once the extra fructose is in your fat cells, it's extremely difficult to get it out. This is why it's so hard to lose fat as you get older. And when you consume too much fructose, you put your liver in an overwhelmed state. You spike your cholesterol and your triglycerides, which means you're going to make a tremendous amount of visceral fat. Visceral fat is the most dangerous type of fat because you can't see it. It's the fat that builds up around your heart and clogs your arteries. What most people don't know is that fructans are hiding in some of today's healthiest plant-based foods and vegetables. Have you ever gone on a diet? Maybe you started eating a salad for lunch every day, you cut out the fast food, and yet, you still didn't lose that much weight. Or maybe you didn't lose any at all. Well, it turns out that a handful of healthy vegetables are extremely high in fructans. Now, before I tell you what they are, I want to be perfectly clear, I'm not telling you to avoid all vegetables. If you're eating these veggies and getting great results, then stick with it. It's clearly working for you. However, if weight loss is always an uphill battle for you, it might be from these high-sugar veggies. Those are stopping your body from burning fat. When it comes to fructans, the top sources are onions, cabbage, broccoli, and asparagus. And another plant-based food that tops this list is legumes and beans. That means you could be eating plenty of veggies that are stopping you from burning fat. Again, if you're eating fast food around the clock, then switching to these veggies would be a great first step. But once you're eating a relatively balanced diet, and the fat still isn't coming off, fructans and these high-sugar veggies may be to blame. Because in the presence of fructans, AMPK can't be activated, which leaves your metabolism slow like a snail all day long. You see, what's healthy for one person isn't always healthy for someone else. So while you're loading up on the beets, broccoli, bananas, and peas, it could be what's stopping you from losing inches as quickly as you'd like. Even worse, as we age, your body naturally produces less AMPK. This is why your metabolism slows down with every year that passes, leading to more fat buildup and loss of lean muscle tissue. Have you realized how most people gain weight and get weaker into their 50s and beyond? Well, now you know why. If you're consistently gaining weight, even if it's just a pound or two, every month, your body probably isn't producing any AMPK. It's like trying to drive a car without any gas in the tank, it just sits there, stalled. Now, let's take this one step further so you really understand this. Because when you do, then we can talk about how to fix it. As the size of your fat cells increase, your body releases a substance called resistin, which is the perfect name because it basically resists your body from losing weight. Resistin blocks AMPK activity. It's also associated with poor blood sugar control and increased blood lipids. So you eat foods that are high in fructans, your body releases insulin and resistin. Both insulin and resistin block AMPK from being released, and your metabolism stays slow. The fructose gets shuttled to your liver, and when there's too much where the liver can't store all of it, it spills over into your fat cells, leading to a bigger stomach, larger thighs, and a bigger waist. Does all of that make sense? And when your fat cells become too large, it can lead to heart attacks, stroke, cardiovascular disease, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and weight gain. But what scientists and doctors are finally starting to realize is if you want to get the fat out of your cells and burn it off, it's really as simple as flipping your AMPK switch and keeping it on as often as possible, for as long as possible. Because AMPK determines your body fat composition. Now you're probably wondering, how do I turn on my metabolism switch? Well, if you look at the traditional research, you're going to be disappointed because it's the same boring advice you've heard over and over again. For example, one way you can do it is through intense exercise. In studies, rigorous exercise has been shown to activate AMPK. But here's the problem. First, it only stays activated for a short amount of time, so unless you're doing intense exercise around the clock, which I wouldn't recommend, then it might not make a big difference. Plus, what I've found working with hundreds of women and men 50 and above is that intense exercise usually does more harm than good. It's easier to get injured or pull a muscle, and it's hard to stick with long term. Honestly, it's just not worth the risk. You could also try restricting calories. In theory, when you eat less, your body is supposed to produce more AMPK. But here's the problem, you can't restrict calories for the rest of your life. I mean, you've probably tried that dozens of times already, and how has that worked out for you? So while it's technically supposed to help, we all know that your body can't survive on only a couple hundred calories a day. Because when you're starving every day, and try to rely on your willpower to avoid the foods you love, it's only a matter of time before you crack and cave into the foods your body really wants. Luckily, a trip to a tiny village in Ecuador helped me discover a secret way to turn on your metabolism whenever you want. I went to visit my grandmother, who lived in the tiny village of Giron in Ecuador. In Giron, there are no paved roads, no skyscrapers, there isn't even a grocery store. They live off the land and make everything by hand. When we got there, I noticed something strange. Everyone was not only thin, they all looked incredibly young. In a village full of people in their 70s, 80s and 90s, most of them didn't look a day over 40. I couldn't believe it. And one morning, I followed Grandma on her morning routine. At 90, she'd walk to a small patch of land about 7 miles outside her village, no cane, no wheelchair, and with her straw basket in hand. She'd pick these tiny plants one by one. I had no idea what they were. But when she had a full basket, we walked back to the village, where she'd spend hours separating the plants. Then she'd grind them down by hand, take a small pinch and put it in a cup, and pour hot water over them. Like an honest-to-goodness, homemade tea. "Why are you drinking that?" I asked. She replied, "This tea keeps me young," and who could argue with her? She's been drinking it every morning for over 50 years, and at 90, she's as sharp as a tack. She lives 100% independently on her own, no one is caring for her, and she looks like someone half her age. My curiosity was running wild, so when I got back home, and I started researching the ingredients in my grandma's secret tea. And I quickly realized why everyone in the village was so thin and looked so young. A new weapon to fight excessive weight. The first plant extracts my grandma used is called berberine. Berberine is a bioactive compound that can be extracted from several different plants. It's been tested in hundreds of different studies, and it has a long history of being used in traditional Chinese medicine. But the benefits go much deeper than that. One of the main actions of berberine is to activate AMPK. A study published in the journal Diabetes states berberine reduced body weight and caused a significant improvement in glucose tolerance without altering food intake. That means not only did it help with weight loss by triggering AMPK, it also helped manage blood sugar without the test subjects changing their diet. That's key, because if something works without you having to completely overhaul your diet, you're much more likely to stick with it. Berberine also helps to slow the breakdown of carbohydrates in the gut, decrease sugar production in the liver, and lower total cholesterol. In a study of 37 women and men, the participants took 300 milligrams of berberine 3 times a day. As a result, they dropped their body mass index levels from 31.5 to 27.4. They also lost belly fat, their waists got smaller, their total cholesterol went down, and their blood pressure decreased. They also saw an improvement in fat-regulating hormones. Berberine can also reduce blood lipids. This means it can help protect against heart disease. A meta-analysis of berberine supplementation in diabetics found that on average it lowered triglycerides by 42 milligrams, and both total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol went down, on average by 22 milligrams. That's a huge decrease, without completely overhauling your diet. I'm excited to introduce you to CarboFix, the all-natural formula to fight against belly fat, uncontrollable weight gain, and intense hunger and cravings. Let me be honest with you. If you want to start losing pounds fast, if you want your jeans to slide off your hips, if you want to get rid of the nagging fat on the back of your arms, around your belly, and the stubborn fat stuck to your thighs, CarboFix is your answer. It's the only all-natural 6-ingredient blend in the world that helps activate AMPK to target unexplained weight gain, excess belly fat, and uncontrollable hunger. Now you can finally indulge in your favorite carbs guilt-free, knowing they won't be stored as fat. It's the only formula in the world that combines berberine, true cinnamon, alpha-lipoic acid, chromium, benfotiamine, naringin, and to be 100% transparent. There are no hidden sugars and there are no dangerous chemicals. It's just 100% pure plant extracts that I've described in detail here today. All backed by the latest cutting-edge research to get you on track for the healthy body you deserve. The more you stock up, the more you save. When you get a single bottle of CarboFix, it's only $49 a bottle, which is already a $50 savings. And because our multiple bottle packages are our best sellers, we set it up so that the more you buy, the more you save. Because as a new small business owner, I want you to save as much money as possible, in hopes that you'll tell your friends if, and only if, CarboFix works wonders for you. That's why, if you choose the 6-bottle discounted package, you'll pay just $34 a bottle. Plus, we worked out a deal with our supplier, so you'll get a big new customer discount on a 3-month supply as well. The savings aren't as big as the 6-bottle discount, but they're still significant. And don't worry, whatever package you choose, you will not be billed again unless you make another order. I hate companies that keep sending you bottles when you didn't order them. But you have to act fast because our supply is running low, and I can guarantee, these discounts will not be available forever. Save the most by choosing the 6-bottle package, or whichever works best for you. Try CarboFix, and if it doesn't work, you pay nothing. I don't know about you, but I hate paying for something that doesn't work. And it's even worse when you have to spend hours on the phone jumping through hoops just to get your money back. That's why, when you try CarboFix today, and you start using it in the morning before breakfast, and again before dinner, and any time you'd like in between. If you aren't absolutely thrilled with your results, then you pay nothing. If for whatever reason CarboFix doesn't work for you, then all you have to do is contact our support team. And we'll refund your entire order with no questions asked. And it doesn't matter how much you've used, our team will take care of you and simply thank you for giving us a try. Look, you only have 2 options right now that leads to 2 very different results. Unfortunately, our time here together is almost over. And going forward, you really only have 2 options. Option 1, you can take everything you learned here today and try to apply it yourself. You can spend weeks trying to find the exact plant extracts in the exact right quantities. You can go to all your local grocery stores. You can spend hours searching for them online, and if you do find them, you can figure out how to mix them together in a way that actually works. But let's be honest, that's going to take a lot of time, and work, and effort, plus, life will get in the way like it always does. And in a month, you'll probably be in the same exact place you are now. That's not what I want for you. Option 2, you can take the easy way out. Take advantage of all the hard work I've already done, and see how powerful these plant extracts are, once you get them in your hands. All you need is a few seconds in the morning to start seeing the amazing benefits, and with all the free bonuses, 30 days from now, you can be thinner, skinnier, with way more energy. Your pants sliding off your waist, you'll probably start making more trips to Goodwill donating all the clothes that are way too big and way too loose on your body. But you have to take the first step. Look, if you can clean up your diet on your own, and start exercising every single day while sticking with it long enough to actually see results, then you clearly don't need my help. However, if you want a helping hand, if you want me to help guide you along the way so you don't have to do this alone while finally getting the missing link, the unique plant extracts that can make all the difference in the world, then the choice seems pretty clear. Plus, if for some reason it doesn't work out, you can just let us know, and we'll refund your entire investment. So you have nothing to lose and an exciting, youthful life to gain. I hope I have enlightened you today. If you think someone in your family, or maybe a friend would like to take part in this information, then please share this video. I want to try and help out as many as possible. The link to the sales page is in the description below.